Hi, spiritual evolutionists. We're here today to journey forward on our magnificent adventure to the higher consciousness. And it is a mountain that we have to climb in this lifetime or in your future lifetimes. But because you're here and because you're with me right now, we are climbing to this higher dimension together. And I've been talking to you about, of course, honoring your spiritual out-of-body teacher who is supporting and helping you. And that's very important for you to honor that every single day. And I'm sure that you're doing that because that embraces the energy of that teacher to be of support to you. I'm supporting you to move forward. The hierarchy, if you will, is supporting you to move forward. So we honor this morning our spiritual teachers. We're saying thank you so very much for being a part of our lives and supporting us on this journey. Without you, we couldn't move at all. So thank you, thank you, thank you, all the masters that are helping us and all the many soul evolutionists that are a part of our journey right now. I talked to you last week about the parentheses in eternity, your lifetime. And this is your parentheses in eternity, right now. And when we come into the life plan that we have signed up to do, I'll put it that way. We've signed up to do this life plan before we came into body. And you're here, and your life plan has had many segments. Many segments. Different opportunities to grow and to change and to develop. That's what a lifetime is all about. This parentheses is about always working to the highest interest of your soul. Most of the time when we come into an incarnation, we aren't aware that we are in an incarnation. We truly believe that the personality self that we have is who we are, and it has its journey, good and bad, learning and developing, whatever that is. It has been a part of your whole evolution, this parentheses in eternity, this play that you're in. Call it what you will. But this is your parentheses. This is your opportunity. So understanding that gives us a good foundation to build on, to work on the next dimension of being. And of course, we've been talking about that in the last few weeks, about the fourth dimensional consciousness, God, Christ consciousness that is within you. It's a part of your journey. Now, there's probably only 1% of the human race that's on this planet right now that is interested in this evolutionary process, that have been here for so many lifetimes that they're ready to do it. So you are one of them. Thank you for being a part of this magnificent opportunity to move to the fourth dimension, which your soul has really worked hard in so many lifetimes to be able to be here at this particular time, 2013, to move forward. So we talked about the importance of meditation. And meditation is a very important part because it connects you with the higher energy of this planet. It's just going into your iPhone and connecting to your emails, and you connect to that higher energy and it pulls down all your emails. Well, you are connecting to your higher self, pulling down all the information of the universe that's available to you right now in this body, and you can work in the best interest of your soul by connecting to that. So here we go. We are connecting to that, you understand that, and you're moving forward with me. Moving forward, and we are going to be looking today for what it is to be moving out of the fourth dimension from the third. And I mentioned to you the spiritual power tools that I created so many, many years ago from my experience, the things that helped me. So I've made a list, and if you will look in your spiritual power tool book on chapter 4, you're going to see the third dimension versus the fourth dimension. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I think when I began this journey, it was into an area that I'd never been in before. And so I didn't understand the importance that meditation was. I've learned that it is so important because it takes you out of the third into the fourth. When you learn to turn off your mind, when you learn to turn that chatter off in your head, you become more aware of your thoughts, and you become the observer of yourself, which we also talked about last week, becoming the observer. So when you're turning off your mind, you start to observe all the chatter that your mind is telling you. And you have to stand up to it and say, shh, no, I'm not listening to you. I must turn off my mind to connect with the higher energy, the fourth dimensional energy, because the third dimensional energy is the energy that keeps you in the third dimension. You want to move out of that energy field into the fourth, which is stilling the mind, quiet it, so that you can connect with that higher part of yourself, the higher part. So we say thank you for helping us, out-of-body teachers, to connect with that part of ourselves and learn how to be the observer of self so that we can turn off our minds. Now that you have been working on some of this already, you have found out how boring your thoughts are. I can remember thinking how boring my thoughts are. I think about the same thing over and over and over again, never moving out of that mind frame, if you will. And once I learned to say shh to it, no, it doesn't have any power over me. I need to connect with the infinite intelligence of this universe. This third dimensional intelligence is not going to get me what I want. It's not going to help me to understand. So as we move into the fourth dimensional energy, you will get the help you need to still that mind. But in order to totally 100% understand what your mind is doing all the time, you got to kind of listen to it at first. Because if you don't know what you're having to listen to, you don't know how boring you are and are willing to turn it off. That really convinced me when I started listening to the repetition that was going on here. So listen to it and let it go. So part of the process of moving up this mountain of consciousness into the higher consciousness is turning off that mind so that you at will can turn off your mind. You ultimately learn to meditate 24/7, just not 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, and a half hour at night. You are connected 24/7, but it only happens through your constant awareness of I'm connecting to the higher energy. So with that in mind, I want you to think this week about listening to your thoughts when you're trying to meditate and finding out how very, very dull and boring you are. And that will be your first mastering the mind. Because we're going to master. we are going to master ourselves. And mastering the mind is the very beginning of moving into the fourth dimension. With all that said, let us take just a moment to meditate with me right now. So we just close our eyes and let go. We let go and we open ourselves to the universal consciousness that is right here present with us, right here, right now. And we ask for help to turn off our minds this week and to let go. Let go. Let go. We surrender. We surrender to the higher energy of this planet. We surrender to the fourth dimensional energy and let it move and have its being in us. Let it support us in every way. Thank you, God. Thank you, Masters. Thank you, teachers. As we begin our first steps into the mighty, true energy of this planet. And take a deep breath. And know that you have been connected. And as you open your eyes, I want you to continue today, tomorrow, and the rest of this week, acknowledging your connection, not only when you're meditating in the morning, afternoon, and evening, and silencing your mind, but during the day. During the day, when you hear yourself talk about all these things that are going on in your head, you say, shh, I'm not listening to you. You're extremely boring. I don't want to hear you anymore. I look forward to next week as we move forward on the next dimension towards our goal. Bye for now.